Black made a move. On f5, pause the video to figure out white's next move. Pawn takes f6. Knight takes f6. Knight takes f6 check. Pawn takes f6. Rook g1 check. King f8. Queen f3. White is setting up to play. Queen takes f6 check. Queen f7. Bishop h6 mate and dominate the board. Queen f7 was chosen by black. Bishop h6 check. King e7. Rook g7. Bishop takes h3. Rook takes f7 check. King takes f7. Queen takes h3. Knight d8. White has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game. White just played. On h3, pause the video to spot black's next move. Rook d1. Black is preparing to play. Queen takes f1 check and dominate the board. Rook takes d1 played by white. Queen takes d1 check. King h2. Queen d6 check. On f4. Pawn takes f3 check. Rook f4. On f2. Black is preparing to play. Pawn promotes to queen at f1 and dominate the board. Queen b5 move preferred by white. Rook b8. Black is preparing to play. Queen takes f4 check. Pawn takes f4. Rook takes b5. Pawn takes b5. Pawn promotes to queen at f1 and dominate the board. Queen c4 played by white. White wants to play. Queen takes f7 check and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn promotes to queen at f1 was chosen by black. Black intends to play. Queen takes c4 and secure a strong hold in the game. Queen takes f1 played by white. On g5. On the 5. Pawn takes f4. Pawn takes f4. Black is dominating the board. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. King f2. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. Rook a8. Black considers playing. Rook takes a2 check. Rook e2. Bishop takes e3 check. King e1. Queen b1 mate and gain a significant edge. Pawn a3 played by white. Queen f3 check. King g1. Bishop takes e3 check. Rook takes e3. Queen takes e3 check. King g2. Queen e4 check. King g1. Pawn takes a3. Queen d6. Pawn a2. Black considers playing. Queen e3 check. King g2. Pawn promotes to queen at a1 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Queen e5 was chosen by white. White is preparing to play. Queen takes e4 and take decisive advantage. Queen takes e5 move preferred by black. Pawn takes e5. Pawn promotes to queen at a1. Black is aiming to play. Queen d4 check. King h1. Rook a2. Rook e1. Queen d5 check. Rook e4. Queen takes e4 check. King g1. Queen g2 mate and seize the initiative. Rook takes a1 was chosen by white. Rook takes a1 check. King g2. Black is dominating the board. Let's go to the next game. White just played. King d2. Pause the video to figure out black's next move. Rook d3 check. King c2. White might go for king takes b1 and establish a winning position. Rook d1 was chosen by black. Black is looking to play rook bc1 mate and dominate the board. Pawn b3 played by white. Pawn takes b3 check. Rook takes b3. Rook dc1 check. King d2. Rook takes b3. King takes c1. Rook takes c3 check. King d1. Rook takes a3. Rook b2. King c6. Black's idea is to play king takes c5 and establish a winning position. Rook c2 was chosen by white. Rook a5. King d2. Rook takes c5. Rook a2. White is struggling to keep up. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. On f5. Pause the video and try to predict white's next move. Pawn takes f6. Bishop g8. Queen takes h6 check. Bishop h7. Rook ae1. White wants to play Rook e7. Rook f7. Rook takes d7 and gain a significant edge. Rook f7 was chosen by black. Bishop f5. White wants to play bishop takes d7 and establish a winning position. Rook takes f6 move preferred by black. Queen takes f6 check. Knight takes f6. Bishop takes d7. Knight takes d7. Rook f7. White is aiming to play rook takes d7 and establish a winning position. Rook d8 played by black. Rook e6. White is planning to play rook d6. Rook e8. Rook takes d7 and take decisive advantage. King g8 played by black. Black intends to play king takes f7 and dominate the board. Rook e7 played by white. White's idea is to play rook g7 check. King f8. Rook ef7 check. King e8. Rook takes h7 and dominate the board. Knight f8 move preferred by black. Rook takes b7. On a6 white has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. Pawn takes b3. Pause the video and try to find white's next move. Black considers playing pawn takes c2 and gain a significant edge. Pawn takes b3 move preferred by white. On f5. Pawn takes f6. King takes f6. On a4. White's idea is to play on b4. King e7. King e5. King d7. On h4. On b5. On a5. On h5. On a6 and gain a significant edge. King e7 played by black. King e5. King f7. On b4. White's idea is to play on a5. King e8. On a6. King d7. On a7. King c6. On promotes to queen at 8 check and put immense pressure on the opponent. King g6 was chosen by black. King takes e6. King g5. On a5. White considers playing on a6. King f4. On a7. King e3. On promotes to queen at a8 and sees the initiative. On takes a5 was chosen by black. On takes a5. King f4. On a6. White is setting up to play on a7. King e3. On promotes to queen at 8 and dominate the board. King g5 was chosen by black. On a7. King f4. On promotes to queen at 8. White's idea is to play queen f8 check. King g5. Queen g7 check. King f4. Queen takes h7 and increase their advantage significantly. King g5. Black's loss is confirmed. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. Queen g5 check. Pause the video and try to find white's next move. Queen takes g5 check. Pawn takes g5. King g2. White is planning to play king h3, king h7, king g4, king g6, pawn f3, and secure a stronghold in the game. King g7 played by black. Black is looking to play king g6, king f3, king f5, king g3, king takes e5, and gain a significant edge. King f3 move preferred by white. King h6, king g4, king g6, pawn h3. White intends to play pawn f3, king h6, pawn f4, and seize the initiative. King h6 was chosen by black. Pawn f4, king g6, pawn takes g5, king g7, pawn h4, king h7, pawn h5, king g7, pawn h6 check, king g6, king h4. White is looking to play pawn a5, pawn b5, pawn takes b5, pawn takes b5, pawn a6, king h7, pawn a7, and seize the initiative. Pawn b5 played by black. Pawn takes b5. Pawn a5. Black is on the verge of defeat. Let's go to the next game. Black just played pawn takes f4. Pause the video and try to predict white's next move. Bishop e4 check. Pawn f5. Pawn takes f6 check. King g5. Pawn takes f4 check. King takes f6. Queen takes h5. King e7. Bishop f3. White is preparing to play bishop g4. Queen c7. Knight b5. King d8. Knight takes c7 and put immense pressure on the opponent. King d8 played by black. Bishop g4. White intends to play bishop takes d7 and increase their advantage significantly. Queen f7 was chosen by black. Knight b5. White is preparing to play queen takes f7. Rook takes f7. Knight takes d6 and increase their advantage significantly. Queen f6 was chosen by black. Rook a e1. White is planning to play rook e6. Queen takes e6. Pawn takes e6. Knight b4. Knight takes d6. Knight d3. Queen d5. Bishop takes b2 and increase their advantage significantly. Knight c7 was chosen by black. Knight c3. White's idea is to play knight e4. Queen d4. Knight takes d6. Knight e6. Queen g6. Queen f6. Rook takes e6 and dominate the board. Queen f7 move preferred by black. Knight e4. White is planning to play knight takes d6 and dominate the board. Queen takes h5 move preferred by black. Bishop takes h5. Knight e8. Bishop takes e8. Rook takes e8. Knight takes d6. Rook takes e1. Rook takes e1. King d7. White is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. Black played rook takes e5. Pause the video to find out white's response. Pawn takes e5. Pawn h6. Pawn takes h6. Pawn g5. King takes b7. Pawn g4. Pawn b6. White is setting up to play pawn h7. King g6. Pawn promotes to queen at h8. King f5. Queen f6 check. King e4. King c7. King d4. Queen f4 check, and secure a stronghold in the game. Pawn g3 move preferred by black. King a8. White is setting up to play. Pawn h7. Pawn g2. Pawn promotes to queen at h8. Pawn promotes to queen at g1. Queen f6 check. King e8. Queen takes e6 check, and gain a significant edge. Pawn g2 played by black. Pawn b7. Pawn promotes to queen at g1. Pawn promotes to queen at b8. Queen g6. Pawn h7. Queen takes h7. Queen c7 check. King g8. Queen takes h7 check. King takes h7. King b7. King g7. King c8. King f7. King d7. White is aiming to play. King d6. King e8. King takes e6, and put immense pressure on the opponent. King g7 move preferred by black. King e7. White is looking to play king takes e6, and increase their advantage significantly. King h6 played by black. King takes e6. King g7. White has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Pawn h4 check. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. Pawn takes h3 check. King takes h3. Queen f1 check. King h2. Queen takes f2 check. King h3. Queen f1 check. King h2. King g4. Queen e6. Queen d3. Queen g8 check. King f3. Queen a8 check. Queen e4. Black is looking to play. Queen takes a8. King h3. Queen a1. King h4. Queen g7. King h5. Queen g6 check. King h4. Queen h6 mate, and secure a stronghold in the game. Queen 4 was chosen by white. Pawn c3. Queen d1 check. King f2. Queen g1 check. King e2. Queen c1. Pawn c2. King h3. Pawn h5. Black is setting up to play. Pawn h4. King h2. Pawn takes g3 check, and increase their advantage significantly. King h2 was chosen by white. Pawn h4. Black is setting up to play. Pawn takes g3 check, and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn g4 played by white. Queen e5 check. King h1. Queen d5 check. King h2. Queen d6 check. King g2. Queen g3 check. King h1. Queen h3 check. King g1. Queen takes g4 check. King h2. Black is dominating the board. Let's go to the next game.